This was a very Protestant area. You know, you don't have Star to see till 1850. You have a Protestant church here. You have St Matthew's in Irishtown, down at the bottom of Triangle Road. So Sidney Herbert, Sidney Herbert paid all the money to have St John's built, which I must look it up. I only read recently about it. It was quite a place for rows. Yeah, inside. People arrested for fighting in the church.
There's really church in Ireland, it's not attached to the parish.
Yeah. Fighting in it, like lots of arrests and convictions for fighting within the church. I would have thought, like, you know, maybe it was outside some kind of dispute. They're actually inside it. And like the local pastor, like got up to Parliament and said, I have lost control. Huh? Great name, Conniving again, yeah. It was owned originally by a man called Jack McLean. And it would have been around here. It opened in 1725. Because as far as the road went, there was no road. It stopped there, see, here. There was no road at the time. But he was a very famous pub. He was very popular with Trinity students. They would come out here in their droves. He had live music. He had the best fiddlers and accordion players playing in there. He was famous for his fish food. No doubt he had some sort of stand there, hashtag fresh for you. Really popular. From up to about 1847 he was there. And then a man called Andrew Chino purchased him. He was a bit of a fly-by-night. Now his family are quite famous, they're architects. A lot of the bridges that were built over the Grand and Moyle canals were all designed by his family, but he didn't quite have that ink in him. He was originally into fashion. He would design and make ceremonial suits for some of the British hierarchy in Dublin Castle. And then he decided to start making lace undergarments for women. I suppose it's the answer today. It wasn't quite as popular as he thought he was, and both his business and his pub went by the board. So Conniving House was there, really popular with smugglers, popular with everybody, popular with as soon as this was a pathway down to brickfields, and it began to open up. But the thing was, they were allowed, workers were allowed to go in there and go down to work, but they weren't allowed back this way. And to stop them going in and out of it. So they actually ended up having to go down in or out Sandymount Tavern. So that's why Sandymount Tavern kind of. Get it right. Seaford Avenue was originally John Larkin's. It was Eagle Tavern, and then there was John Chute, then James Chute, who was his son, then Margaret Chute, then Sylvester White was there.
What year did he buy it?
Sylvester White bought it in 1902 and sold it in 1911.
Right, because I found the glass when I was cleaning the office there a few years ago. It's actually in a display case in there, small little shop glass.
Yeah.
With whites.
Yeah. He done well for himself. He went across the road and bought the corner. So he was improving all the time.
Yeah.
He bought a better place.
1901.
1901, yeah, to 1911.
1911, yeah. Stuff around that glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it was Owen Lynch was in there after that, and Owen Lynch, I'm not too sure if Owen Lynch was just a licensee, he may have been just the least, and then in 1922 Thomas O'Reilly took over. So then
big celebration.
100 years next year.
So then one Sandymount Green was originally, for a brief period of time, was Daniel Redmond's, and then in 1850 Hugh O'Reilly. In 1858 it became known as the Sandymount Tavern. It was owned by Daniel Burke, and he was quite a big public in the city, about 4 or 5 pubs around town. He died in July 1856. Then it became Butler's and John Butler died. He bought in at the back, and at one time he also owned the Sandymount Hotel, the one out on the beach, but never ran it. And then he sold it to Patrick Fleming in 1891 for £2,755. A lot of money then. A lot of money then. He married a Limerick native, Katie English. Oh no, he was a Limerick native. And he married Katie English. He died out in Dunleary in 1935. He sold it then to Sylvester White, who was after improving himself. Who sold it on then to Joseph Ryan. I think there's a lot of photographs on some of the can things, you can see Ryan's on it. Now Ryan got himself into a bit of bother in the 1830s, politically wise. He was one of the few pubs that was selling Bass, and there was a big boycott of Bass because it was an English product, which wasn't taking the Irish aesthetics, and he refused to take it. On a coordinated campaign, but he was the first one. And one night, about 15 pubs in the city were targeted by, we'll call them paramilitaries, for want of a better name for the IRA. Targeted the pubs, including him. 15 men went into him just before closing time, wrecked his shop, emptied out all the barrels of Bass he had in the place, and warned them that, you know, not to do that again. And what he did was he said, "Fuck you," and he sold the place. He sold it for 17,500, which is basically 430,000 investment. Then it became Heelan's, Fagan's, and of course they had their baby. What's it?
Was there